Welcome to another Monday with Marty. Hey guys, hey peeps. I want to say happy Monday. So happy Monday, everybody. I'm so happy that you're here with me once again. And if you're watching the replay, I want you to make sure to hashtag replay and to put 2222. Because today is 2/22/21. 2/22/21. How cool is that? Right? So it's a magic number day. All right, guys, let's talk today about how we can go from surviving to thriving and how important it is to know the difference. When we are in business, guys, what ends up happening is we need to know the difference between whether we're surviving or whether we are thriving. And that's going to be critically important to your business success. You see, because when you know whether you are surviving or whether you are thriving, then you know you're either on the right path or you need to make some changes to become on the right path. As you're coming in, drop me a comment and say hello, and I will bring your comment onto the screen so we can see who's there, guys. So I see that somebody's watching. So let's go back to talking about surviving and thriving. You know, for the longest time, I used to say to myself, and I used to repeat to other people, and I used to tell a story that I was a survivor. I am a 2-time cancer survivor. And then somebody said to me, Marty, surviving you've already surpassed surviving. What you're doing is thriving. You're no longer surviving. And so then I went back and I thought about that. In that, almost everything, like I say, tips to rock your business and live your best life are critically important. So people always say, why do you always say that? Are you a life coach? Are you a business coach? I'm a business coach, and you can see my cast here, guys. I'm a business coach, but I know that when your business is thriving, you are living your best life. That's when you're living your best life. Let's talk about what does it look like when you're surviving in a business. When you're surviving, you're so concerned. When you're in that survival mode, you're so concerned about always making the right decisions. You're concerned, you're almost stopped because you're not sure if that decision is the right decision. And let me tell you that the people that are thriving are the successful business builders that are making 6, 7-figure, 8 and beyond income. People that are making less than that are usually surviving. They're surviving either their job or they're surviving their business because they're so concerned about making the right decisions. That's number one. That's number one thing that you know that you are surviving as opposed to thriving. The second thing is, are you afraid of missing out? Are you afraid of missing out, like social media? You're afraid you want to be on every single platform, or you want to be doing what everybody else is doing because you're afraid of missing out. And let me tell you, when you're afraid of missing out, you want to go to that new gym over there that just opened up because you're afraid of missing out. The truth is you're afraid of missing out. You want to go see, you want to be in the thick of things rather than to focus on what you have in front of you and continue to move forward. So you are in survival mode. That's fear-based. That's fear-based. You're afraid that if you miss something, you won't get it, right? And you're afraid to make that decision because what if it's wrong? You're so worried about making the wrong decision, right? And then the third thing that makes you know whether or not you are surviving or you are thriving is you want to make sure that others agree, and you want to make sure that you have enough followers on social media, and you want to make sure that people say yes to what you've got to say. You're afraid that if people say no, it means they don't like you. And the thing about that is there's only one person in this whole wide world, maybe two, that actually are really our soulmates. Usually that's our husband, who disagrees with everything that we do just to challenge us and things like that, that keeps us on our toes, or our parents, our mom, our dad, usually the mom, right? Because you're seeking validation. You're seeking validation from other people. That's how you know you're surviving. You write a post and then you go back to see how many people liked your post. So you're living off of somebody else's validation. That's when you're surviving. And when you're surviving either in life or you're surviving also in your business, you are working off of what we call a fear-based mentality. And that's critical to understand. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. If you enjoy doing that, then fine. I want to make sure you understand where you are, and is that where you want to be? So let's talk about thriving now. What does it look like when you are thriving? When you are thriving, I call thriving a faith-based station in life, a faith-based station in life. You're moving forward with faith. You take that decision, you make that decision, and you move forward with that, knowing that you're going to put the work to get it done. You're not just going to make a decision and then let it fall flat. You're going to make a decision and you're going to put all of your weight behind it. That's faith-based. That's very much what we talk about in church, right? So it's really important to understand that that's faith-based. And then number two, life has turns and twists, but somehow you're going to manage. So when you're thriving, you understand that and you make allowances for it. So you get a few steps ahead just in case. Let me give you a story and an example. I didn't know I was going to fall and break my arm last Monday, but last Monday evening. But last Monday, I created and batched all my content and my videos so that I already knew that no matter what happened, things were going to keep going smoothly. Things were going to keep going smoothly, right? And in my courses, I batched the videos. I did all of those things that I needed to do. Boom, guess what? I break my arm on Monday night. And luckily, there wasn't a whole lot of things that I needed to do, really. There was only one thing I needed to do on that Tuesday because I took Tuesday and Wednesday off. But that wouldn't happen if I were in survival mode. That only happened because I'm thriving. Right now I'm on thrive mode. I knew that life had twists and turns. I always know that. So what do? I schedule for it. I make sure that I'm a couple of steps ahead by being consistent, guys, by being consistent and knowing that life has twists and turns. And the other way that you understand or that you're thriving is that you don't let other people's actions or reactions or decisions derail you. Derail you. I see so many people tell me, you know what? Oh, I broke my arm so I couldn't do that homework, or oh, I broke my arm so I couldn't, make that meeting. If you think about the times that you are, needed in meetings, you have to realize there was a time when I was a school principal and 60% of my time was done in meetings, right? Now, I was not derailed if those meetings were canceled. I was not derailed if something happened. even what you've got to prepare for all of this, guys. That's how you know you're thriving. If you're living, as we say, day to day, which is fine in some aspects, but in your business, if you're living day to day to day to day and you haven't planned and batched your content and organized your calendar and really focused on what needs to be done and have all the technology and all the software you need in order to make things happen, you're living day by day, guys. You're living day by day, which means that you are going to be vulnerable when you get a phone call and says, hey, I need you to do this for me. Or, hey, I need you to do that for me, when you had something else scheduled. And then what happens is that you look bad because you know that this was scheduled, but because you're not thriving, you're surviving, you allow those decisions to derail you. So you've got to really come to grips with that as a business owner. You've got to realize, where am I? Am I a survivor or am I a thriver? If you allow, those phone calls from your kids, hey mom, I dropped this off at school and I got into an accident, or hey mom, the teacher said, I need to stay here and you have to come pick me up, or whatever it is, those, if you're surviving, those are going to derail you. If you're thriving, not a problem. I got the software with me. I got my tools with me. I can get it done while I'm there waiting for you. Can get it done. But you have to plan. So organization is the key to your success. Anticipation is the key to your success. Knowing where you want to go, goal setting, knowing your values, goal setting. What's my goal this week? Set a weekly goal. And if you don't make it, that's okay, guys. Don't be afraid of goals, but you've got to set yourself goals. Weekly goals are best because that way you've got something to look forward to as you're thriving, because that's where we want you to be. We want you to be in the thriver's seat. We don't want you to be derailed and worried about, did I get enough likes on that post? Did I get enough people to answer the question? Did I get enough people to say they liked me? If I don't go on social media, I won't know what's happening. If I don't get on Facebook, then what if, right? And what if they say this and I'm not ready, or what if, you live in that what if when you're surviving, guys, and you're fear-based. You're so afraid of making decisions that sometimes you hear that critical voice in your head and you're stuck. You're stuck, you're stiff, you're done. But when you are thriving, my friend, you're in the flow. That's what we call the flow, because you're moving at a faith-based mentality. You have faith that this decision you made is going to prove fruit. You have faith that because you've been planning and you've organized yourself and you have committed your day, and you have taken the investment of investing in resources to help you, and investing in tools and software and things like that to help you, that you know that nothing that can come your way can derail you. Then, my friends, you are in what we call a faith-based flow, and you are thriving. That is when it looks easy. That is when it looks so simple. All right, my friends, that's it for today. My talks are short, sweet, and to the point. I want to make sure that I've got two things for you. Have you taken the Entrepreneurial Quiz? If you haven't taken the Entrepreneurial Quiz, I invite you to do that. If you go to my Instagram account, the quiz is on the link in my bio. Take that. I'd love for you to see what kind of a archetype you are, what kind of an entrepreneurial archetype you are. And if you haven't taken advantage, down below here on the Facebook group, on the Facebook page, that freebie that I've got connected, please do that as well. And tag some people if you found value in this. Tag some people, guys, so that they can also hear some of the words I've got to say, some of the tips I've got to say. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Any comments, any questions? I see 2 people with a thumbs up. Any comments, any questions, so that I can bring you on? Let's see. Reactions, no comments, just a lot of love. All right, guys, this is Marty Angel signing off. Thank you for coming. Mondays with Marty, and I will see you next Monday. Have a great one. Namaste.